That's 4 snaps for you, baby.
Oh shit, it's Sunday again.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sunday, bitch. Yeah.
Getting that cream.
I want the cream. Give daddy that cream.
Getting that cream. Getting that cream.
Brace yourself for the cream.
That's gone, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gone. It's out of here. All right, you ready to do the intro? We're doing a little morning pod.
Fire it up. Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping. Hey friends, welcome to yet another episode of CPS. My name is Josh, and with me as always, the Sultan of Fudge, the mean machine of cream, my sweet, sweet little strawberry sundae, and your favorite, Mr. Rik. Rik, talk to me.
Jesus Christ. You will never top that for the rest of our lives.
I don't know where that came from. I'm on one today.
You've got a thing for speeches, man. You really do.
Oh, thanks.
I'm feeling silly on a Sunday, man. I'm ready to. We're firing it up. We're doing it at noontime instead of 7, so I got all this kind of weird energy going.
Yeah. Trying out the morning pod rather than the afternoon evening pod. So we'll see how it goes, dude.
I mean, we might as well. It's either I go to the gym now or I go to the gym later. So I don't know. It is what it is.
Yep.
So what's happening? What's going on?
I'll tell you one thing. I was a little bit nervous a couple of days ago. The old Chinese spy balloon.
Yes.
Dude, wild. It got shot off the coast of Carolinas, which is right near where I am. But I fell for the fake explosion video over Montana. It was like this viral video where they showed this explosion. And apparently it was all fake. But I believed it. I was ready to batten down the hatches and fucking start heading for the border.
That's some fake hysteria right there, man. I mean, yeah, because I was at the gym and I was looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like a balloon is just floating? Like, it's like, I didn't really understand it, but it's like, yeah, I guess they can't really shoot it down because what if it's like filled with gas or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I get it could probably land on people or whatever, I guess. But, dude, so, I mean, I don't want to get too political like or whatever, but, I mean, China's the enemy. Let's be honest. Not the people, but the CCP.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. They do not have America's best interest in mind. And I mean, I've been scared of their technology and everything. They spy on everybody with TikTok. I mean, they have the satellites to see everything. But a balloon? Like, think about it. Like, is this the movie Up?
I mean, I was wondering, like, what even, like, militarily wise, like, what advantage does doing that cause? I mean, you can look up shit on Google Maps. You can look at people's social media. You can watch the news. You basically know what's going on publicly. Like, What are you going to collect from, like, floating up in the sky? Like, I don't understand. It's like, oh, now we've got the road maps out. And it's like, well, if you were to hop onto Google, you'd have that within 15 seconds. Like, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish here, dude.
Dude, there might be something we don't know about or whatever, but if not, like, they're sending the Hindenburg over here? Like, is it the fucking 1800s? I don't understand what's going on. They're sending blimps?
Like a bunch of like giant flying machines with people like on like bicycles with like paddles for wheels, and they're just like keeping themselves floating over the ocean.
They go back to like Renaissance era Da Vinci technology.
Yeah, they come over here on this fucking 1800 technology and shit.
Oh man, what's scary? I don't know what's scarier, the fact that they're sending over a fucking balloon to spy on us, or the fact that a commercial airline pilot was the first one to see it. Like, where's our national security?
I mean, if you were like a 17-year-old and you're just out shooting and you see, I mean, not that it was this low to the ground, but if you just see this thing floating in the sky,
yeah, like
how do you know like somebody just doesn't like, all right, well, I'll shoot at this thing, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it is a bomb or it is mustard gas or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like surprised that like somebody doesn't have like, oh, here's my drone footage of me going up to this thing, you know? Like, you don't know what people are doing with this thing before it like gets found.
Yeah. I guess it was super high up. I guess it was like over commercial airline space. At least that's what they were saying. But
so if it landed or not landed, so if it got taken down over Carolina, so it was heading east over the U.S.
it came in through Canada, supposedly. And that's where they first saw it, in Montana, I guess. Which is crazy, because like I said, a commercial airline pilot was the first person to see it. Like, he was just flying, like, American Airlines or something, and saw it, and probably thought it was a UFO. I mean, they see that shit all the time now. But then he's the one that reported it. So I don't know where our national security is. And then they're like, oh, well, we don't really want to shoot it down because, it could land on somebody or something. And we don't, they don't want it to land. I mean, what the fuck's it going to land on in Montana? But they didn't want it to land on anybody.
So what did they determine when they shot it down? Was it like just an air balloon? Like there was nothing in it?
I mean, there's a video of them shooting it down. They waited till it got to the ocean so it wouldn't land on anything. And they didn't say anything else. All they said to us was it was a surveillance balloon, a spy balloon, to basically, I guess it did hover over where we have a nuclear launch site or something. I think there is one of those in Montana or something. But they can see that shit on satellites, so I don't get it. I don't know. I don't trust them. I mean, who the fuck knows, dude? We're going to find out in fucking 50 years it was our balloon, and that it's like Operation Northwoods, and they're just getting us ready for World War III. Who the fuck knows?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It automatically makes me think of Trailer Park Boys when they get Bubbles that big ass rocket and it hits Steve Rogers when he's in the news helicopter, and they think they're getting attacked by terrorists, and like they won't own up to it because they'll get arrested. How do you know it's just not some like Canadian asshole who like made this balloon? He's like, oh, let's see if I can get this to, stay up in the air for a couple hours, and all of a sudden he's like reading the news. He's like, fuck.
I like how the
I
analogy
cannot tell a soul, dude.
Immediately goes to, dude, this reminds me of exactly like that episode of Trailer Park Boys.
That's the way my brain is wired. It's okay.
Totally understandable. Yeah.
It was just some backyard warrior doing a fucking at-home project with his son, and now he's like, son, you can never speak of this.
Yeah.
They will come for you.
I don't even think they know it's from China. They didn't see it till it was in Montana. They probably like could have come from anywhere. Who knows? But it's funny is
the asshole.
What's funny is, first of all, our national security sucks, but at least we saw it like in the beginning of it coming into the United States. That bitch flew all the way across Canada without them seeing shit. I guess there's nobody in Canada. I mean, maybe a moose saw it or something. But,
well, I just want to like hear that interaction of them in the cockpit of the one guy going like, is that a balloon? The guy's like, wait a second. That's a Chinese balloon.
That's a Chinese balloon right there. If I ever
know
seen
it
one.
when I sees it, and that's a. Oh, I'm gonna stop there.
You can tell it's a Chinese balloon because it's sideways.
Hey-yo.
Ayo.
Hey-yo.
Dude,
Oh my.
Speaking of the end of the world, you've been watching, did you play the Last of Us game?
No, I did see that it's like a series now, though.
Oh, okay, yeah. I played the game. I was a big fan of the games. The second one was a little bit, I mean, the first one was good. But there's this character in The Last of Us in the game named Bill. And, yeah, spoilers, by the way. But it came out a week ago, and anybody that's watching the show is watching it. And I'm not going to ruin the story, but there's this guy in the game named Bill, and they kind of made this. The story in the show has been following the video game verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
They did a spin-off episode, kind of like a backstory, in the third episode of the show, and they do this whole thing with this character Bill, but he has a gay partner, and the whole episode is like them two old guys falling in love and stuff. Which I mean, when I first realized what was going on, I'm like, this didn't happen in the game at all. Like, here we go. They ruined this fucking show. The woke of us. It's going to be like they're shoving it down our throat. And it doesn't feel like it was a necessary episode. Like, obviously for the story, it didn't have anything to do with the game. But then I watched the episode, and it was actually really nice. It was like a really heartwarming love story between two old dudes, and I actually kind of liked it. It was actually really nice. It was really well done. It's like touching.
Well, me and Emily went to go see that Knock at the Cabin that came out yesterday, or I guess that was Friday now.
Yeah.
So with like Dave Bautista, and it's got Ron Weasley in there from Harry Potter.
Oh,
and,
he's in that?
Yeah, it was. So basically, I won't give any spoilers, but I'll just kind of reveal what was in the trailer. So basically, like, these guys show up to a cabin, and they're basically like the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and they give this gay couple the ultimatum that one of them has to willingly die in order to save the world.
Damn.
and it's two dads and then like an adopted Asian daughter, and it's the same thing where I was like, they build up scenes where like they're like face to face and they're like fuck, they're not that it's like fuck they're gonna have a gay kiss or whatever, but it's like they're building up to that, and then they cut to like a flashback or whatever. So it's like they're addressing it, but they're not making it like about
that's good
sexuality. They're making it like this is just a very like current theme, you know? Yeah, but it was cool because it was like. Yeah. It was very like psychological, but like I walked out of the movie theater and I'm like, I liked it. And then Emily's like, well, it really wasn't like a horror movie. Like we were looking for like a horror thriller kind of deal. And it was really just like a psychological kind of deal.
Yeah. Who was that? Like M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong or whatever the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And he was in the movie too. He was in like one of the newscasts or something, but he's one of those guys that every movie he directs, he shows up in it. Like in The Mist, I think he's one of the guys that dies in like the convenience store, or he's in a car or something. But yeah, he's like a Quentin Tarantino kind of deal.
Yeah, he always makes a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. So what you're saying is there's no gay sex scenes with that Batista guy?
Yeah, and I can't believe I bought a large popcorn. I didn't even get to see that shit.
Large popcorn.
Ridiculous.
What'd that run you? Fucking $30?
No, it's actually at the Keene Cinemas, dude. Like, might be like $6 or $7. It's not that expensive.
That's not bad at all.
This is the only movie theater in my life that I've gone to where like you can get a large soda, a large popcorn, and like a candy for like $10. You go anywhere else, it's like $28. It's like, what the fuck am I paying for, dude?
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
I mean, I was one of the guys that like back in the day, I used to have like a soda like tucked in my waist, and then like I'd get in there and I'd crack it and I'd drink it throughout the movie. And now it's like, why wouldn't I just pay the $3 for like the soda at the movie theater? You know?
Yeah.
But like growing up, my dad was always like, all right, so whatever you want for snacks, give it to your mom. She'll put it in her purse. And like, that's what we did as kids. You know, we'd like smuggle in candy at the movie theater.
Yep. Yeah, we did the same thing.
It's just so silly, dude. But I mean, even the movie's like, he's like, all right, well, that'd be $7. I'm like, Jesus, dude, this is so like, how do you guys stay open, like selling tickets this cheap?
Yeah, that's crazy. Was it a matinee?
No, it was just a regular, I think it was like $8.15 Friday night.
Damn, and it's still that cheap?
Yeah, dude.
That's weird, man. They must make
that movie
all their
theater
money
kicks
on
ass,
concessions.
dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Dude, I'm so spoiled with movie theaters now. Like, if I go to a movie theater and the seats don't recline, I'm pissed.
Yeah, you're a little spoiled there.
Yeah, I remember going to movie theaters as a kid, and none of the seats reclined, and they were all made out of plastic, and they were tiny. It was like being in a fucking airplane, you know, like packed in like sardines. It was the best shit ever. But now it's like, you know, I'm used to those soft leather reclining seats, you know?
Yeah, I definitely remember sitting in some shitty movie theaters growing up. But dude, you know what I'm like legit looking forward to is Cocaine Bear.
Dude, that looks great.
That looks like it's gonna like CGI has gotten to the point that it is so impressive that you can make a whole film about a bear that doesn't actually physically exist as you're filming and just make it so goddamn realistic.
Yeah, so is it a CGI bear?
Yeah. I don't think they have anybody in a suit or anything. I mean, I haven't looked at any of the behind the scenes stuff, but I would imagine that it's all CGI shit.
Yeah. Is it based on a true story?
Yeah, so basically a like drug runner back in I think it was the 80s. He dumped out a bunch of cocaine off of a passenger plane or whatever, like a smaller plane. And his intent was to go back into the woods and find it. And then when he went there and found it, he discovered that a bear found it first. And he basically ate 70 pounds of cocaine.
That's crazy.
So for the next, I don't know how like realistic is compared to the movie, because I think in the movie he probably survives a couple days or a week or something. But But basically, because I heard about this story way before the movie stuff was starting, and basically the quote was, for 48 hours, that was the most dangerous animal on the planet. The last 48 hours till its heart just like burst out of its chest from all the cocaine.
That's insane.
But just imagine that, dude. Like the movie is going to be so ridiculous, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to be like a Sharknado, but like not as dumb.
Hopefully not as dumb. Those are pretty fucking dumb. Cocaine Bear might be a close second. I mean, it'd be funny if it was based on a true story, but instead of like a bear, it was just a fat, gay, hairy dude in the woods that did a bunch of coke and tried to fuck everybody.
He just goes in like the gay club and he's like fighting everybody.
Cocaine Bear.
It's like that Kill Bill scene, and he just like goes ham and just like beating everybody up and shit.
Yeah, just fucking them all. Crazy deranged. We should remake that. We could do that. Any fat, hairy friends that we have that might be interested in playing the bear? You don't have to name names.
I think I'm out of that category. I don't know who would do that job.
Yeah. We don't really have any typecast friends.
Yeah. I mean, I have one friend. We have the one friend that's hairy, but I don't know if he's available.
We have a couple hairy friends. I don't know which one you're referring to, but
yeah, you know.
You know. Oh, please. You know.
Butter me up, baby.
Is Alec Baldwin going to jail or what?
I know he was found guilty, which I don't really know how to feel about that.
Yeah, man, it's kind of rough because he obviously isn't a gun expert. I think he's very anti-gun politically. I think that's what's ironic about Hollywood movies is everybody that's in them shooting guns is like anti-gun. But I don't know. He's obviously not in charge of the props, and it sucks. Is he even responsible for manslaughter technically? I mean, obviously he's being sentenced, but
I mean, that's the thing. It's like statistically though. All right, so what are the chances of that gun getting a real bullet? Very slim, but somehow it happens. Okay, so it is what it is. Why is he pointing a gun at somebody and then pulling the trigger? That's what blows my mind. Like, even if it's a 100% fake gun, and if I'm on set, I'm not gonna like act like a fucking 12-year-old and point it at somebody, and not that that's what he did, but
right.
I mean, and like, how did that situation happen where like the gun isn't pointed at the ground and he's not being professional and like not pulling the trigger? You know, it's not like this thing's like, oh, I'm just gonna go off. Like, that's not how it happens.
He's just like fucking around, like bang, bang, like pretending to shoot people. Bang, you know?
It's not like people are just going around hunting and all of a sudden their rifle goes off and they shoot themselves in the foot. It's like, no, you got to pull the trigger for that to happen, you know?
Well, he still claims he didn't pull the trigger, which is not true because they analyzed that gun and that gun is impossible to fire without pulling the trigger. But he still says he didn't pull the trigger, but he did.
Yeah,
but that's his defense.
Well, he's a piece of shit, so.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be fucking around with guns. Here's the thing, though. What if they were shooting a scene where the camera lady was facing him and it was like a close-up or something? So the gun was pointed in her general direction. You know what I mean? What if it was something like that, where that's a lot less crazy than him just blasting blank rounds at people as a joke? I think it's probably somewhere in between, but you know what I mean?
I mean, I can see that visual of like somebody holding the camera, the gun pointing right at you. They pulled the trigger, and then all of a sudden the guy just like stumbles and they fall, and the camera hits the ground and shatters the lens. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that proof footage. Somebody put that on YouTube.
Well, they definitely were filming it, so there should be footage.
They're gonna play it in the courtroom. We should get all fucking dolled up and go sit in the back of that courtroom.
Yeah, we're just here for the show. Yeah, it's
they're like, all right, no cameras, no video, anything. Like, all right, and we show up with like 10-gallon hats with like a fucking camcorder from the 90s. And it's like flashing red. Like, oh no, we're here just to see what happens.
With mustaches. Good day, sir.
Like the guys that used to film movies back in the early 2000s, they'd show up with like a big ass hat and with a camera in there, and they'd film the screen. I remember that shit. Man,
back when you had to hold a video camera like on your shoulder.
I remember back when I used to pirate shit, I would like, because there would be a movie, okay, so that came out last week, and you could download it and watch it, but it would literally be like the exposure's all fucked up, the contrast is all fucked up, because it's literally a dude sitting in the back row with a camera. It's like, God, I really should be watching this, dude. There's something wrong here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Why don't they have like smaller cameras to live stream like news and everything? I get it that it's better to have an actual camera, I guess. I mean, you know more about this than me. I don't film anything, but if your iPhone can shoot in 4,000 pixels, right? Like UHD, and it can live stream, why is it when you see news guys, they still have these giant cameras? Like it's the 80s. Like, what? They don't have a new technology that can stream better, that's smaller? Like, couldn't you just do it from your phone, basically, and it'd be just as good?
I mean, eventually with technology, what's going to happen is you're going to have like a little, like the little goblet from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You're basically going to pull this thing out of your pocket. You're going to throw it in front of you. It's going to hover and it's going to film you, and it's going to naturally just track where you go. You can do hand movements and move it back and forth. Dude, it's going to be freaking sweet. But I mean, we're still a ways away from that. But
we're
yeah,
pretty
it's
close.
the same shit.
I mean,
it's
drones
like,
can follow you around. I mean, it's pretty close, right?
Yeah. I mean, even why not give some of these people some of these smart glasses and be like, all right, I'm going to go join the raid, or I'm going to join the, not the raid. Raid's not the right word.
Antifa? What are you talking
No,
about?
like what is it when people just go crazy in their town? They burn everything.
Riot. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm
I
gonna
think
go
a
join the
raid is what
riots.
Vikings do when they raid.
And then they have so instead of a fucking cameraman running around chasing people, lighting cars on fire, like just give somebody like the Google glasses. They can go around, live stream them, just like just documenting shit. You know, like why wouldn't the police want to do that anyways? In order to be like, all right, well, there's the asshole that flipped my car. I mean, I had a kid in college. He was rushing my fraternity, and he was like super cool. And then the Red Sox riots, or no, Pumpkin Fest. It was Pumpkin Fest.
Pumpkin Fest.
He was caught on camera whipping a beer bottle, and he basically had the ultimatum of go to jail, and then you're cleared, and then he was going to join the military, or like he's suspended from joining the military for like 2 years or something. But he got kicked out of school because he threw a beer bottle like on camera.
Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of people that got real lucky with those Pumpkin Fest, man, that did a lot of crazy shit. Those were wild. I didn't go to the last one, I think, but I went to the one before the last one, before they stopped it.
I've got that footage. So in October, I'm gonna release some of those videos. I have to edit them down because I don't want to show me doing a beer bong off the third story of the house that we're living at or whatever. But
what if in the videos you incriminate somebody that hasn't been caught yet?
Oh, tough shit for them. So that was the year where there was like 6,000 people in this backyard, and I got to the front of like this back patio, and I was able to go up and I filmed some of it because I told him I knew the DJ, and I did. And then it kind of like spilled over into like some other more yards. And I remember there was some dude like dancing on top of a roof, and he was like dousing himself in beer. He was like this like naked. He wasn't fat, but he was like a black dude, and he was like just pouring beer on himself on top of this roof. Jesus. And then somehow he disappeared. And then like 5 minutes later, a guy jumps off the roof through a table, like on the ground, and everybody's like cheering and like chugging, and it was freaking chaos, dude. It was so cool.
How did he disappear? Like Houdini?
I don't know. He was naked on the roof 1 second, and then he kind of disappeared. So I don't know where he went.
Probably got dark out. You said he was black, right?
Yeah.
Bad joke.
He probably got chilly, dude. It was the end of October, and he was up there dancing, covered in beer, totally naked.
Oh yeah, he probably got fucking hypothermia.
But it was that was one of those where I filmed some stuff on my Canon, then I had my GoPro, and then I had like my iPod Touch, and then my phone. So I have like 4 different mediums. So like you can tell like throughout the day, like all right, my phone died, and then I'm filming shit literally on my iPod Touch, and like the very last shot of like the
what
guy
if he was
falling,
like on drugs and now he's got a good job, and you're gonna release that video of him dancing naked?
No.
On the
I
roof?
mean that's the kind of stuff that I'll take down, or like I'll blur it or something so you can't really tell what he's doing. But yeah, I'm not gonna upload a dude dancing on a roof.
How are you gonna blur it so you can't tell what he's doing? Or you just blur out his dick and balls and he's fine? Like, well, at least you can't see my dick.
I'll put like a graphic over it, and I'll just have it track him.
Yeah,
I'll have like Big Bird up on the roof.
Big Bird on the roof. Totally, yeah. Just blur the face too. Do them a favor, blur the face. Then they can deny.
So I had Jimbo over last night, and we went to the gym, and we got Chinese, and we did a little bit of drinking and all this and that. And he left today, and I was thinking to myself, at what point did chilling like with your friends kind of change? You know, because like back in the day, it was like you play video games and like you sit around and drink till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and now it's like he comes over and we go to the gym and we go to Chinese, and it's like hanging out as an adult is just so different from hanging out like as a child. And I just like, I don't know when that transition happened, because all of a sudden we're sitting around and it's like 8 o'clock and I'm dozing on the couch and I'm not even drunk. It's like, when did this happen?
I think it starts to happen when you can't recover as quickly as you used to. Like you do that too many times, and your circadian rhythm changes too the older you get. Like you can't stay up. You get drunk and stay up till 3 a.m. You're fucking out of commission for like 3 days. And you can't afford to do that. You got a fucking job and bills. Whereas if you're 17 years old or even in your early 20s, like you got nothing to do tomorrow. You don't care. And then you have a Gatorade and a fucking breakfast sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts, and you're fucking back in black, baby. Fucking ready to rock hard, locks rocked, and ready to fucking cock. You know what I'm saying? These days, you know, I have a milkshake and my ass jiggles for a week. I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
I mean, I remember, same story with Jimbo. Like back when I was a freshman in college, we went out drinking all night, and then we basically, I think we went to bed like late. But we woke up at like 6 a.m. and we ended up eating leftover Dominoes on the steps of like a church down the street, and we were drinking Gatorade. And like that's what we did at like 6:30 in the morning, was just being degenerates, literally sitting on the steps of a church on a Sunday morning before like the service started.
That's insane. Yeah, just bursting into flames. People walking in. Fucking,
I'm really burning now.
praise Jesus. Fucking beating on the door, screaming sanctuary with your pants around your ankles. Yeah, man, I've had a few of those nights. Crazy times. I've had nights where I got so drunk. I've done some stupid shit, and I've gotten very lucky. But nights like driving home so hungover, I had to pull over like 5 times on my way home to puke on the side of the road. You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just not fucking. You get to a point, man. You got to grow up eventually, and you don't have to get that fucked up to have a great time. It's fun once in a while to get fucked up, you know, but it's not a requirement anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I remember one of the last couple times I like drank heavy the whole, because I drove from Manchester to my house, and it was a lot of like just kind of like controlling my breathing so I don't throw up all over the steering wheel for the next 90 minutes I'm in the car. Like, dude, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, and it's always like you're always, man, I'm never gonna drink again. You've had a few of those days where, and then 3 days later you're doing the same shit. You know?
Well, it's like the stuff where it's like if you're with somebody else, like you might like try to step it up and be like, oh, I'm a little hungover, I'm not that bad. But it's like literally I'm driving, the music is off, the heat is down. Like I need to like not like yak as I'm driving. It's like that bad. It's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, when you drive with the music off and with both hands on the wheel, it's a pretty rough drive.
Yeah, that's when you're like, shit, I really need to reevaluate some things here.
Yeah, I've driven. I mean, like I said, I've done some stupid shit. I don't do it anymore, but I've driven drunk. You know, I've driven buzzed, and not smart. Don't do it. Not worth it. A lot of people that we know have gotten busted, and it's just like, but you know, stupid kid shit. Not the driving drunk part, but the partying all night and all that. You know, it feels like it's a necessary part of, at least for me, development. I don't know. You have to kind of fuck off when you're a kid. You know,
I mean, not that I want to incriminate
later.
myself, but I've definitely had times where, like, I remember one time specifically, I woke up in college and I was like in my bed at my apartment or my house or whatever, and I'll look out the window. I'm like, please tell me my car is not there, and it was there. It's like, all right, it is what it is, man.
Yep. Well, at least you made it, and I don't think you can incriminate yourself. What's the statute of limitations? 10 years?
I don't know. I mean, there's no proof, there's no damage, no nothing. But I mean, it was definitely one of those like, I don't really remember coming home last night, and unless somebody drove me. I mean, I'm putting it together in my head. You know?
Yeah.
I remember leaving the party. I don't remember what I did after the party.
We have a good friend that was driving drunk July 4th night and fucking smashed his tire on a curb. Or curb. I always say curve. It's curb. Hey, curb your enthusiasm. Yeah, busted his fucking tire at like 3 a.m. Got a DUI. Woo!
Who was this? Give me details of who they were.
Well, I can't say his name. I don't want to.
Is this a kid down in Georgia?
No, that's another one of our friends that has. This was like 5 years ago. When the kid
I don't remember who it was then.
Oh, well, I'm not going to say his initials or his name. Actually, you know what? I'll say his name and I'll just bleep it out.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah, that's how he got a DUI.
Oh, I knew he got one. I didn't know that's how he got it.
Yeah, I think it was July 4th. It was like a holiday or something. And yeah, rough. Had to have a breathalyzer in his car, the whole shebang.
Oh, I feel like it's been long in 5 years, dude.
Yeah, well, not because he had it. Well, we got to change because if I keep revealing more information about this guy.
All right, let's just drop it. Let's drop it. New topic.
I was going to say, yeah, new topic. I don't want to.
Yeah. Let's just sip on our liquid death. Thank you for sponsoring the sode.
Yeah. Well, they better get we better get a sponsor soon, man. This is ridiculous. Fucking 7 episodes in. No, we are getting a lot of listeners though. We have it's growing. It's growing, folks. You're early in. Wait till we start a Patreon. We're gonna grandfather you in for the low price of $800 a month.
Thank you for all the liquid death that showed up to my house. I appreciate it. I mean, I know I'm supposed to get reimbursed at some point, so I'll keep the receipts. But until then, I'll keep buying it off Amazon. So
yep, buy the pallet load.
Yeah, I got the free shipping, and I was like, oh, I'll get 20 pounds of water. Mail that to my house, assholes.
Oh man, that's one of those things people never thought they would pay for 50 years ago. Fucking water. It falls from the sky and we pay for it. It's crazy.
Well, that's like I saw every time I drink tap water now, I get this image in my head, which kind of pisses me off. It was something I saw on Facebook. It was like just an image of like a city pipe, and the inside of it's like all rusty and brown, and like there's like light green mold and all this weird nasty shit. And the caption was like, "And you're drinking your tap water." It's like, yeah, this is what people drink like in the city, dude. Like I remember going into New York and having to ask people like, "Can I drink the tap water?" No, there's bottled water in the fridge. Like they would say that, and it's like that's bananas.
What's crazy is the way they fix that is not by changing the infrastructure or replacing the pipes or anything. They just add chlorine to the water to kill any of the bacteria.
Just so the pipe doesn't corrode from the fucking nastiness of the water.
That's what they do. They just add fucking bleach to your water in such a small amount it'll slowly kill you. It won't kill you immediately. It might take 50 years for you to get cancer, but they're not like fixing the problem. That's their solution. And whether it's corporations poisoning the water supply, making us have to buy fucking water wrapped in plastic as a barrier coming, it's crazy. It's a crazy fucking world we live in. I don't know what the hell we're doing, but it's pretty wild. Hey, dude, before I forget, Justin Roiland, I think I've jumped the fence completely. I'm no longer team Justin Roiland. I looked into it further.
What happened?
I'm out. I just, of course, I was talking about it a couple of episodes without doing any research, which is exactly what I plan on doing forever. But I saw he was messaging some underage girls. Yeah, that's a big part of the whole Adult Swim cutting ties thing.
Huh.
He was calling one girl jailbait, and she was like 16. And he's like, "Hey, what's up, jailbait? I'm super drunk right now." I'm like messaging her and stuff.
I shouldn't be laughing, but I think that's kind of funny.
It's funny.
What a dumbass.
It's stupid. I mean, he never sexually assaulted anybody, but he was a real creep, I guess. So it kind of fucking sucks, but yeah. But I found that out and I was like, I should bring that up.
Yo, so I got something real controversial. I don't know if we can talk about it, but I'll bring it up anyways.
Well, if it ends up being too controversial, just let me know. We'll cut it out. No biggie.
All right. Just cut out the slurs. So basically, it has been cold as fuck up here in New Hampshire. That's what I want to bring up. It has been cold as tits. It was negative 103 on Mount Washington. That was the second coldest place on planet Earth.
103?
Saturday night. Negative 103. It was negative 103 degrees on Mount Washington.
Wow.
Yeah, which is the coldest it's ever been recorded there.
Okay.
And also, because I used to go up to Mount Washington back when I worked for environmental services, and they told me, I think it was either late 1800s or the early 1900s, they put up a thing to register the wind because they were like, wow, it's windy as balls up here.
Yeah.
That winter that they put it up, that broke the speed record for the windiest like miles per hour ever. And since like 1912 or whatever they put it up, it's never been that fast again. So it's like Mount Washington is absolutely nuts. But like even so we went to a movie. It started 8:15 Friday night. By the time we're done and we're driving back, it's like 11. My car says it's negative 10 degrees. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's rough. Those fucking New England winter nights are no joke.
It feels like negative like 40, like with the wind chill. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do not worry about tornadoes or hurricanes or fires. I don't worry about any of that shit. I just gotta suck it up for the cold. So I'm not fucking complaining. But yeah, man, it's like I've been sleeping with a tank top, a t-shirt, and a sweatshirt on for like the last week. I'm just fucking cold all the time, dude.
Yeah, that fucking blows. That always happens. I remember there's like a week or two every winter where it's just brutal in New England, where you just want to get the fuck out of there. It's just too cold. Like it hurts to be outside. You get frostbite in 10 minutes type shit. There's always like a cold front that hits where it's like, or cold snap, whatever the fuck. And it ain't worth it, man. And then, yeah, but what's controversial? What are you saying?
Oh no, I was just being a smart ass. It's not controversial.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to go into a whole spiel on climate change or something.
That'll hold the listener being like, well, where's the controversial shit? And like, nah, idiot, you just fucking listen to me rant about the cold, motherfucker.
Yeah. So I think that we should set people on fire is what I'm getting to.
It would fix the homeless population.
Yeah, get two birds stoned at once, bud. That's right.
Or we could hire them to like sit on like exercise bikes that like generates generators, and that provides heat for the building. And that's how they stay inside and stay warm, is they like work for it. They're like guinea pigs, except in real life.
And every 5 miles, they get one hit of meth.
That's fair.
That's fair. It seems fair to me.
Yeah, because if you give them a downer, dude, they're just going to pass out on the bike, and then you just got to replace them.
Well, it's got to be meth or Adderall or Coke or something. We need an upper. We need to keep these people moving. We got fucking houses to heat, bud.
We'll give them coffee, but then they're like shitting everywhere, and you got to like spray them down in the back corner of the freaking warehouse, and
Hose
there's
them
not
down.
good ventilation over there, and
Yeah, this is there's a few flaws in this plan, but we'll see to it.
we'll see it through.
We'll see it through. Yeah.
Oh my.
So, what do you got going on? What'd you do this weekend other than hang out with Jim Boner?
Well, Friday went to the gym, and then went to the movie, and then basically yesterday Jimbo showed up. We went to PF. We did a little shoulder workout. We get to the point now that we kind of just go for, I call them PRs, but it's like see how many reps of this you can get. So like we did like overhead press with like the Smith machine. I got like 17. He got like 16. But every time I go to the gym now, I just try to like up myself in at least like one exercise and be like, all right, I've never done this. Let me see if I can do this. And I've been doing that the last couple of weeks, and it's kind of cool because it's like, fuck, I didn't know I could bench 2 plates for a set of 12. Like I don't push myself that hard.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So we just
man.
kind of did that. It was stupid. We did 3 sets of each exercise, and it was basically like a set of like 15 to 20, and then a set of like 12, and then do like a bullshit set of like 6. So like we did like 185 pound shoulder press. I only got 4, and James got like 2. But it's like, all right, well that's the last set, dude. Like we don't have to do actual sets of like controlled 8 reps or whatever. Like fuck that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's like I'm here to dick off, dude. I'm here to have fun.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of guys getting busted at the gym. There's a whole trend of girls wearing what's the word?
Scantily dressed.
Yeah. I'm retarded. It's a whole thing of girls dressing like slutty, going to the gym, and then they set up the camera on the tripod. And if a guy like walks near them or looks at them, they post it and be like, look at this creep following me around the gym. And obviously there are some creeps, but the majority of them are just guys like, what the hell's going on? They're probably like notice that she's filming and just look over real quick.
I literally watched one video on YouTube today, and it was some guy talking about that. How these chicks just go in and they start filming themselves, and like, this guy's staring at me doing squats. It's like, no, it's because you're sitting there putting on a show because you're on camera. Like don't be pissed that a dude's looking over at you. Or no, it was a guy on Barstool. That's what it was. It was on Instagram, and he just fucking goes off. He's like, well, why are you getting pissed off at me? Because I'm on the treadmill on my fucking phone for an hour. Like, I got nothing to do. I got nothing to look at. And if you're like setting up a camera, like that's just going to draw my attention. If you're like staring me down like in a mirror, like that's not going to help either. Like, I understand there's definitely creeps at the gyms, but it's the same fucking thing. Like, it's the whole like, I don't know, just the whole attention thing, dude. It's like, and then you get called out. It's like, oh, congratulations. You just called out a father of 3 on TikTok, and God forbid it gets like 1 million views on fucking social media, and then he loses his wife because you're just some cunt who has a fucking iPhone 14. Like, go fuck yourself.
You'd have to have a bad wife for her to bail on you for that, given the context of the situation. And if I glance in your direction, like you're putting on a whole show,
you're
a whole
pervert.
spectacle. Yeah, pervert. Yeah, it is funny because there are guys, I've seen it personally. There are guys that follow girls around at the gym for real. They'll be like, it's got to be frustrating sometimes to be a girl at a gym, especially a gym with a lot of dudes, because there will be a guy like doing curls that will like stand right next to a girl on purpose and like, you know what I mean? Like I have seen both sides of it. But on the same token, man, if you're looking for attention and you're looking for clout and trying to expose supposed creeps at the gym, like, I don't know if you're the solution, you know? You're kind of just a bitch.
I mean, there must be a shortage of mirrors over by where I live, because the amount of fucking D-bags that I see flexing in the bathroom, the locker room, like this guy will like literally be in front of the dumbbell rack, which is like the busiest fucking traffic of the whole gym. He'll be up there with his white wife beater that's a size too big. He'll hold it up in his teeth, and he'll like take pictures of his abs in the mirror. But the thing is like, he doesn't even have fucking abs. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I can understand if you're like, all right, I got 4% body fat. Like, look at the veins in my muscles. Like, okay, that's one thing. But like, you're just like a weekend warrior. You probably fucking drink too much. You work out 3 days a week, and I watch you work out. You're here for 45 fucking minutes. You do nothing. You just fucking stare at yourself in the fucking mirror so I can't use the fucking dumbbells. And then you're taking pictures of yourself in the locker room. You give me a dirty look because I'm like, excuse me, I'm trying to get to my fucking locker. It's like, dude, go fucking pound sand, man. Like,
Yeah,
get out
go
of my
pound
way.
sand. Get the fuck out of here. A lot of people full of themselves, a lot of narcissists. Well, there are people that work out because it makes them feel good and they like to feel good and even look good. Why not, right? You know, but then there's people that go to the gym to take pictures of themselves and show people. And those people,
I'll be honest. If it's an arm day and I'm like, or I'm doing dips, like supersetted with like a bicep curl, and I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, like, yeah, like I'll move my arm around, be like, okay, here, I'm getting a pretty good pump. Or if like I'm doing calf exercises, I'm like, okay, like my calves are still pretty shitty, but like from the front, I can see that my leg is like forming the right way. That's different. But like the dude that literally sits there for 2 minutes straight with the bottom of his shirt in his mouth, like, dude, that is just too much. I can literally sit here. Like it gets to the point where I can be sitting on the bench press, do a full set, change the weights, and then sit down to do my rest. And he's still fucking standing there.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the fuck are you doing, dude?
What in the fuck? Yeah. It's pretty sad, honestly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you always go back to the
I've never
gym,
been
too.
like
It's funny.
one of the jacked guys at the gym, but I mean, I've never felt the desire to do that like in a public place.
Yeah, and it's different if it's a bodybuilding gym and like people are trying to look a certain way, you know, that they're kind of compete in a competition, you know, as a bodybuilder. I get that because you're trying to sculpt your body in a certain way, and that is an art in itself. But if you're at Planet Fitness and you're, you know, like you said, some fat middle-aged dude with wearing a muscle shirt, I mean, get the fuck out of here.
It's like, who are you trying to impress? And like sometimes he doesn't even have his phone in his hand. He's just like looking at his stomach in the mirror. It's like, this is like, I just want to go up to him, just like flip my shirt up over my gut and just like start like holding it like I'm pregnant or something.
You should. That'd be hilarious. And then you should film it and put it on Instagram.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
I'll frame it up, because the thing is like I can almost guarantee if I were to do that, he would get fucking pissed. Like he would probably want to fight me, and I'd just be like, "What? You want to touch?"
Yeah, you should like lift your put your gut out and then walk up to him and start rubbing your gut gently on like his arm, and just film it. See what happens.
Just like deliberately like set the phone up like next to him so like he can see me coming. I pull my shirt up and like put like a finger over his mouth, like shh. Don't say a word.
Don't say a word. Don't say a word, boy.
Meet me in the locker room. We can do this in there, which you're gonna do anyways.
And then he just meets you in there and he starts rubbing his gut on you, and it's a whole thing. Jesus, he's choking. Oh my God, that is gonna hurt people's. I'm gonna have to lower the volume on that. Jesus Christ.
I don't usually load up the bong when I'm on the pod.
Oh,
No,
good
that was
joke.
That was all water. I've been this is my second liquid death in the morning, so I'm kind of choking it down.
Yep. Eric does not partake in the participation of
I don't have a bong.
marijuana use.
I don't have a bong.
For anybody listening out there, it does not happen. Don't worry,
Doesn't.
got you, bro.
Ooh. So I'm going to the Keen Ice and Snow Festival after this.
You're just talking about how shitty it is to be cold, and you're going to an ice festival?
Well, here's the fucking thing. It was negative 40 Friday night, and today it's a high to 43. So
Yeah, big
You tell
swing
me.
there.
yeah.
So what's at the ice festival? You like walk around and look at ice?
Yeah, I guess they have like ice sculptures and maybe they have a snowman or two or something. But I don't know. We'll probably do that for like a half hour, and then we'll go to PF, get my walk on, and then come back and chill. But yeah, this will be the first. This is the first time we're doing the AM, or not the AM, but the early pod. So this is gonna kind of restructure my whole kind of Sunday.
Yeah. Well, we have all Sunday after this, baby. That's the glory of it. And I'm still excited. By the way, I'm on one today. I've got a good amount of energy. It could be the fact I had 2 cups of coffee and a Red Bull and a bunch of bacon before I started the podcast, and I just got a belly full of pork meat, and I'm ready to run, daddy. But dude, speaking of the gym, I wanted to bring this up. When's the last time you bounced on a trampoline?
I can't even come up with a number. Probably since like high school or college.
Yeah, me too. It had been probably a decade, for real. Maybe even more.
Yeah, I would
Maybe
say
even
so.
more. Anyways, I found out Lita, my lady, has never been on a trampoline in her whole life.
Huh.
So on Friday, we went to a trampoline park. I found a trampoline park and took her there. And it's this giant park, right? It's an indoor thing. I'd never been to a trampoline park before. And I wanted her to experience jumping on a trampoline, just to see it. Did like an hour. It was like, I think $20 each for an hour or something.
Yeah.
And it's this giant indoor park with trampolines everywhere. And pretty fucking badass, dude, because they have, it's hard to explain. They have these little square trampolines all next to each other. You could just jump from trampoline to trampoline. And then there's another whole section where they have basketball hoops where you can jump on a trampoline and try and dunk like basketballs.
Yeah.
And there's another section that has like a jousting and like a big foam pit, and they have the zip line. A bunch of stuff. They have like a dodgeball arena with trampolines. It's crazy. It's this huge place. Really cool. Downside, the whole place is disgusting and it smells like a rotten foot. Like the second you walk in there, there's no way that they can clean all those trampolines properly or the foam balls or anything. So the whole place fucking reeks. The second you walk in, it smells like a dirty locker room.
You would almost like
pretty nasty.
Like give them socks to wear or something,
They do. They give you special socks you have to wear. They do
and it
that.
still smells like fucking feet in there.
Well, people are sweating and they're not washing the sweat off those trampolines. I don't see how they could. They probably just spray it with Lysol once a month. I don't know how they could clean that place. It's pretty gnarly.
I feel like that's like one step above like a ball pit. Like
It might even be
remember the
worse.
ball pits at McDonald's growing up? Like now they're like basically fucking outlawed because it's like a good place to get HIV.
Yep. I think it's worse. I think it's worse than a ball pit because at least you can suck the balls out of a ball pit and clean them and shoot them back in. Like they have those ball sucking machines. You ever seen those?
Yeah,
but
you could go
vacuum.
around with like a mop and you could like wipe down the whole fucking trampoline and shit.
Well, the thing is, they all have these foam pits that are like big cubic foam balls.
Yeah.
Like made out of like a sponge material.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like pits of those for if you fall. And those are absorbent. They're not like plastic balls. So they probably soak up people's sweat. And then there's no way to clean those.
That must be stanky, dude.
It is gross. It is nasty. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun,
You're
but it
just
was
like,
gross.
Lita, look how high I can jump. And then you jump in the ball pit and you're just like, I'm in the river Ganges of fucking India with human fucking feces and dead rodents floating by.
Yeah, we both have AIDS now, for sure. We both have AIDS and herpes.
Super
and gonorrhea.
AIDS.
Yeah. Here's the other kicker. So not only does it smell terrible, right? It was all children. We were the oldest people there. I think the next oldest person that was bouncing on a trampoline was probably 10. So Alita was embarrassed. I was embarrassed at first, but I said, fuck it, we don't know these people. Let's just do it anyways. And it ended up being a lot of fun. And I don't really care. But yeah, it was all for kids. And, thinking back, if I was a kid, it would have been the most fun place to go to in the world,
Yeah.
All this shit to climb on, trampolines everywhere. It's the best. And the third pisser of the situation is you don't realize when you're an adult how unlimber you become. So we're both sore as shit. Lita hurt her neck because she tried to like bounce on her back, gave herself whiplash. So she can't move her head now. It's been like 2 days. My ankle was so fucked up yesterday. I was limping. Like I managed to do a front flip, It had been a long time since I've been on a trampoline. It's been, forever. And it took me about 20 minutes to muster up the courage to try and do a front flip. And then I did it and couldn't land it and was terrified the entire time I was doing it. It's crazy because your back hurts, you're bouncing on this trampoline, your back and your ankles are killing you. And you're like scared to fall. Like, because if you fall, that the consequences are. Like I've had back surgery, and you just realize after a certain age how you picture in your head that you can still do these things, but you can't. You just get old. It's weird. And obviously not old compared to actual people that are old, but compared to like somebody that's a teenager or in their early 20s, dude, like we're not limber anymore, dude. We can't do that shit. And you just realize it,
I mean, the probability of me ever going to a fucking place like that is so low. Unless I legitimately lose 100 pounds, I will never jump on a fucking trampoline probably the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking like, I'm gonna go dunk this ball, and then I get this big fucking jump going through, and all of a sudden the side cables snap, and I get decapitated because this fucking the weight limit's 250 pounds, and I'm showing up like a fucking glob of meat, and I just destroy the whole fucking thing. The whole thing implodes on me. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
The idea that you're getting decapitated because you're trying to dunk a basketball is hilarious.
It's like you fucking. It's like the fat guys that are on the fucking diving boards. Like, oh, this will be pretty sweet, and he goes to do his final jump, and the board just like snaps, and he just falls in the pool. It's like that.
Literally
deal.
final jump forever for the rest of his life. Yeah, it's just crazy. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, dude, I'm scared to do a front flip. Like 10 years ago, I would have been fucking front flipping. Popping a flip here and there. Hey, look at Josh. You see him? He just popped a flip. That's crazy. But nowadays it's like, man, I'm afraid to do a somersault because I won't be able to walk for a week. It's wild. And I'm not like out of shape either. Like I work out all the time, and I run every day, but fucking front flips. Are you kidding me? It's just out of the realm of comfortable possibility. And
Bro, I've never done a cartwheel in my life.
You never done a cartwheel?
I've never done a cartwheel. I can do somersaults like a motherfucker. I don't know if I can do it anymore, but back in the day, I remember in gym class, you had to do a cartwheel, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't trust myself.
Yeah, that might be a psychological, mental thing though. You probably could have done it back in the day. You probably just,
I mean, if Chris Farley can do it at his size, I mean, there's no problem. I could do it, but yeah, I've always been scared to actually do it.
Chris Farley was an anomaly, dude. That guy was so fat and so athletic, crazy.
Yeah, he was a god amongst men. That's for sure.
Indeed he was. Man, I still feel like I got some stuff to talk about, dude. But we're closing in on our usual time, so I guess I'll have to save it.
Yeah, we'll save it. Yeah, I was gonna bring up that story about that time I got blackout at Chuck E. Cheese, but yeah, we'll save it for next week, man.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't, right?
I'm not even a parent yet. That's the good part.
Yeah,
plenty of time. Chuck E. Cheese with a cooler, but yeah, we'll save it.
Save it for next week. All right, everybody, you heard it here first, per usual. And go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Good night. I hope you have some creamy dreams.
Cream dreams to one and to all. See you in a week.
Oh yeah.